Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tim.
And we've had people with bated breath waiting in the comments for the show.
I know, Tim. Where's my donuts, Tim Sohn?
Well, apparently you went to get a hot dog.
A hot dog. Donuts is what I need. Have we gotten in touch with Dunkin' yet? Have they responded to our request?
I don't believe so. Maybe we should start a campaign. It's like basically donuts for Tim, the other Tim. Well, I'll take them if they're offering. If they want to fight Tim Son and give me the donut concession, then. So yeah, you thought that we weren't having a Thursday show, and I thought we were, and then I forgot to actually create the show thing until about half an hour beforehand. Probably didn't help. And then it's Duncan is silent. Yeah, this is where it's like, yeah.
Tim's saying Duncan is silent. They don't respond. You know, what's their Twitter account looking like these days? Are they like Wendy's at all? Like,
I can't remember Dunkin' Donuts ever doing anything in their social media. I mean, yeah, it's kind of.
You know, Wendy's. Do you ever stalk Wendy's when you're bored?
Not the store or the. No. I mean, I know that they're quite acerbic, sarcastic on their side. They always come back with something amusing on the Wendy's side.
They do. They've done something over there. They've created definitely a community and a network. It is a big cup of coffee, Tim. Okay, Tim, this is the truth. I don't know. I don't use Twitter too much except for 3 a.m. conversations with Why are we awake at 3?
Well, for him, it's well, I mean, I know he gets up very early because obviously he's performing on the Hamilton stage play now. So he does the song about Dunkin' Donuts in the middle of the new version of the Hamilton play.
Well,
obviously Dunkin' Donuts were an essential part of the American Revolution.
I mean, so it's 3 o'clock for me. I'm still awake, unfortunately. Tim is awake, so it's probably 5 for him, 5 or 6 for him, and then we know it's 8 hours.
Yeah, so
you're like on normal time. We should be asleep.
Well, I mean, my timing's I mean, I've often been up at 1 or 2 o'clock. Sometimes, I mean, I've just been drinking way too much coffee. So I've been trying to cut back, but failing dismally.
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble is, it's kind of like you go to bed and then you think, well, you haven't got those. I mean, this is a problem I've been suffering for years working from home. It's like you haven't got those structures necessarily in place.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly acceptable to get up I mean, I think getting up after noon is really a sign that you're kind of.
You're at work from home.
Yeah.
Tim is 3 hours after me. And then Tim Lewis is
the donut shop. You're 3 hours ahead of you.
Ahead of me, I mean, yeah. Has not been good to my health. And then Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Tim is East Coast time. Tim Lewis is UK time. I'm Pacific time. So we're just. Well, what I was saying. Oh, go ahead.
It makes it difficult to do a UK, European, US show because it's 8 o'clock in the UK, but it's like noon your time. I mean, I think if you had it any earlier, I mean, some people are morning people. I suppose you could have a 10 o'clock in the morning US show at 6 o'clock UK time, but then 6 o'clock's not wonderful time for. I mean, there's certain times of the day which are better than others, I think.
Yeah. I think we decided that 12 noon would be lunchtime for us. 8 is people might be sitting on their bed looking for something to watch, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so we're trying to get the casual kind of people who got nothing better to do to watch the show.
Yeah. So let's talk about Wendy's what Wendy's did. I used to watch them when I wanted to scroll through Twitter, and every once in a while I have certain accounts that are fun to look at. So I would look at
Yeah.
Wendy's. They were fun to watch, obviously, because of their sarcastic behavior. And then the other people I watch Glennon Doyle and her wife, Abby, because they always have upbeat and fun messages that they put out in videos. So I'll watch them. I watch Barack Obama just because I love his messages. And Michelle, they're reading books now to kids during the coronavirus. These are kind of the accounts I tend to go to when I want to just kind of aimlessly wander through Twitter. Who do you look at, Tim? Who are you watching? Or
At the moment, nobody really. I mean, I've been very slack. I used to have like loads of Twitter lists where I would go through and I look through and I make sure to look at people. It was when I used to be very business-like about it as well. It was like people I wanted as guests. I'd look at their Twitter list, and people who had been my guests on shows I would have as on a Twitter list. At the moment, my Twitter browsing is purely by using the Twitter algorithm, which people like moaned about the fact that Twitter changed from being just pure stream of everything in thing to having an algorithm. But I think the algorithm has just made a tremendous difference to me, because I can just look at the top and say, oh yeah, somebody I've responded to recently tweeted something. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm just using just whatever Twitter shows me at the top.
I used to be like you. I used to be very strategic with my lists but I don't do that anymore either. Okay, so Tim, have you guys seen Becoming on Netflix about Michelle Obama? Two things about that. One, her book has been on my must-read list since it came out. I want to read it. And two, I have not seen it yet, but I want to. Have you seen it, Tim? Tim Sohn?
I'm guessing he has.
Have you seen it? I heard it's amazing. I'm curious if Tim Sohn has seen it. I heard it's really good. I want to watch it. I love what the Obamas are doing internationally and nationally. I'm big fans.
I watch very little that's not on YouTube anymore. And even then, it's like very specialist, the stuff I would watch on YouTube. So I'm really totally out. Well, actually, I've been watching more terrestrial television since the COVID thing's on, because they have the daily government briefing here, which is usually 5 o'clock UK time. So yes, apparently he's part of the way through.
He's partly through. It's great. Yeah, that's
presumably that's Michelle Obama's thing and not the UK government briefing. Actually, it was talking about the government briefing. There was a funny thing where today sometimes they must clearly have the government briefing in, and they release like a press release to the press and people there. So today, like Boris Johnson did all these announcements about what was going to reopen, but I watched it and I'm pretty sure he didn't say anything about dentists, which I've got like a cap fell out on my table. I'm quite interested in the dentist reopening, but on the actual captions on the live broadcast, they put dentist reopening from the 8th of June.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person, because I was looking on Twitter to see like, am I the only person? They didn't announce it in the broadcast, but it was like there on the thing. And I think it was one of those classic things where they have the press release that go out with the thing. The journalists were all reporting about this thing, but he never actually announced it on the actual briefing, which I thought was an interesting kind of sign about how the media works. Nobody really listens to what people actually say. They just go on what they're given from like the press briefing.
They want to shine the light on whatever is going to make the news and kind of be the most drama, I would imagine. Is UK opening up then? Are you in stage 2 of open up, or I don't?
Well, I mean, it's funny because we are the United Kingdom, but they've devolved health and a lot of this other stuff to the regional assemblies, but England hasn't got a regional assembly. So in effect, it's the English lockdown ending a bit more. So they're going to be opening car showrooms and outdoor markets, and some schools are restarting from the 1st of June. Dentists are opening on the 8th of June, according to the captions, but nobody's actually announced that one verbally anywhere.
Okay.
And then the rest of retail, which is like clothes stores and various other things, is supposed to be opening from June the 15th.
Okay.
And they're also allowing you to meet up to 6 people outside as long as you keep a 2-meter distance between yourself and the other people. And you can now do this in your garden as well as out in the park, which was the previous bizarre guidelines they had. So, yes, that's the situation in the UK.
You can stay, 6 feet apart and meet.
Yeah, I mean, 2 meters. 2 meters is about 6'6". It's about. Oh no, it's about. I think it's actually about my height, about 6'4". I think he's about 2 meters. So, because a foot is 30 centimeters, and there's 100 centimeters in a meter, so 180 plus a bit sort of thing. Actually, no, I think it's about 6'8" would be about 2 meters.
I thought 3 feet was in 1 meter. No, am I wrong?
No, it's 90 centimeters. So, yeah, there's an extra. It's an extra 10 centimeters there. You're missing.
Ask me
I'm sure there's a terrible joke I can make there. Right. I won't go on that.
Don't ever ask. So you guys can go out as long as you stay far apart. San Diego has reopened. I mean, it's apparently we're level 2 reopen. I don't really know what that means because stores are now reopening, restaurants are reopening. We still have to wear masks, I believe. Tim Sohn is saying we can have up to 25 people together now. That's safe. Yikes. 25 people together. Do they have to stand 6 feet apart?
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, they've never said that masks are mandatory in the UK. Now, part of that is because actually, if you look at any of the actual scientific evidence, there isn't really an awful lot of advantage to wearing masks. But there's so much political thing about it that they, even in the UK, they're like, oh yeah, we suggest you wear masks in confined shops and other places, and to some extent, it's like it won't do any harm.
Yeah.
And but there are a lot of people wearing masks in the UK, but it's not compulsory. Because if you actually do respect 2 meter distancing, then that is way more important than wearing a mask.
Yeah. Tim is saying nobody's standing 6 feet apart except some in stores.
6 weeks apart. It's lovely typo, isn't it?
That's even better.
Yeah. Except, well, I mean, if you think about it, if you make sure that you don't stand in the same place that somebody else has stood in the last 6 weeks, then you should be okay. Yeah.
So much tension over having to wear masks or not. It's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended. It's mandatory here in San Diego. I'm not sure of all of California. And I may not have heard the latest update. I haven't been keeping completely up to date, but I know that in order to go into stores, we have to have a mask. In order to go into banks, we have to have a mask. They're all wearing masks, but everything's reopening. So, and word on the street is nobody's wearing a mask at the bars down by the ocean, and they're huddled together and having a good old time. So
I love the way you say word on the street. It's like in the film, we go to the kind of like, let's talk to Christelle. What's the word on the street?
I get the real word. I don't go to the media. I get the word on the street.
Your ear to the ground. What's your contacts telling you about the word on the street?
My contacts are stating. Word on the street is more credible than.
I mean, bars and restaurants are not reopened here, and they are going to be July time is what they're talking about for that. It's funny because there's been a whole side scandal, which may or may not heard about, to do with Boris Johnson's like main advisor is this guy called Dominic Cummings.
Oh, we're going to go there. This is scary. We're going to go.
Well, no, I mean, what the background is that he has quite a reputation as being a generally unlikable kind of person, and he was kind of the mastermind behind the Brexit campaign in the background, Dominic Cummings.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, he broke the rules sort of in the end of March, but I mean, it was fairly, well, I'd say it's fairly minor. I mean, obviously, if you were somebody who was having to respect the rules a lot, then so yeah, clearly he should have resigned and gone. But it's just been such a massive, like, it's subsumed all of the media here for like about 3 or 4 days. And it's like getting to the point, well, yeah, it's like, who cares? We want to know about all of this other stuff. So,
well, I guess one of those things is when we have a rule that keeps everyone safe, and then a major world leader decides they're not going to follow that rule, but everyone else does, that's going to create some conflict within the nation and community.
what do you think about donuts?
On to donuts.
I wonder if you could make a mask out of donuts. You know, it would be the trouble, you might eat it.
Tim, you should design a mask with donuts on it and sell it to Duncan for sure. There's an idea for you. That's a. But yes, I did hear the word in the UK streets was very
yeah.
much.
Well, I shouldn't mention that the C word on the show.
Word on. I have the word on the UK streets too.
Yeah. So that's been like. So I do have a quiz. I created a quiz which was, I thought, well, this is a bit crap, and then I thought of a better way to do it. Well, we can both take part in this quiz, but then I realised I might not be that good at it either. But we'll do it anyway.
You're already making assumptions that I'm going to fail. I would like.
Have you seen the Harry Potter films?
I have, Tim. I'm reading book 1 of Harry Potter, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm.
This is all to do with the films. This is nothing to do with. Well, it's kind of to do with the story, but it's primarily to do with the films.
Can I show you something?
Ooh.
This was unplanned, but look at that. This was what part of my lockdown adventure has been, reading through Harry Potter book. I'm still on book 1, but I figured, you know what, it's about time I read them.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting factoid in that the film had a different name in the UK than it did in the US.
What?
The first film is called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in the UK. And in the US, it's called the Sorcerer's Stone. And I still do not understand that at all.
Tim, I've had this very conversation. I've actually compared books with someone in the UK. Maybe I'll make Duncan toilet. Do it! Oh my gosh. Yes. Brilliance is happening right now. And I don't know why either. And I also noticed that there's different publishers. She has different publishers in the US, in the UK. I don't know if that's common.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the strange things about self-publishing compared to normal publishing. Publishing in general, traditional publishing, is very, very center orientated. So you would often have different publishers in different countries. So they sell the rights.
Okay.
So they publish they'd be a UK one, and then they sell the rights to somebody in the US. When self-publishing, you're basically going everywhere simultaneously.
Yeah.
And that's quite a different way of working.
Edible toilet paper that smells like donuts. Okay, now we're getting.
Why would you ever want edible toilet paper?
This is creative. This is creativity, creative at its best. Okay, we have a very important question though before we start the quiz, because if we're going Harry Potter, then everyone has to know what Harry Potter house they are. Do you know?
Yeah, I have no idea what. I've not done any of those. Well, I've done them in the past, but I'm always worried about doing those Facebook quizzes where you end up giving all your personal details away to find out whether you're a lemon or orange or a tangerine or whatever.
This is not a Facebook quiz. This is real. This is wizardry. This is like wizardry something, wizardry.com. I don't know what the website is. I can pull it up, but it's very important that you know your wizard house. Just so we all know, I'm a Gryffindor. Okay. I am a Gryffindor. I'm going to guess, Tim, I'm going to take a wild guess for you. I think that you are Ravenclaw. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I'm never really. The only ones I can remember are Slytherin and Slytherin, and the one that he's in. Is that Gryffindor? Is the one he's in, or is that a different one?
Gryffindor. His friends are in Gryffindor, and you know the girl Hermione.
Yeah,
she could have been like a Ravenclaw. So Ravenclaws are intellectual, good people. They kind of use their brains to get through life. And I almost think you're a Ravenclaw, but maybe a Gryffindor.
Well, this is the funny thing. I mean, it's with the horoscopes and everything else. It's like I always find it. You could create basically groups of people, and you've got to say good attributes that people could say, like so. You're clearly a right-hand side of the screen live streamer person, and I'm a left-hand side thing. Then I pick some positive your left-hand side people tend to be more charismatic, but right-hand people are more likely to make edible toilet paper.
Well, Tim Stone, we want to know what house you are, if you know which Harry Potter house you are.
Whether you are left or right live screen person. I think he's a left-hand side on the live. I'm not. Or is he right-hand side? I'm not sure. Like his show with Jim and Jim.
Oh,
Jim and Jim.
I need to watch their show, by the way. I keep meaning to do that. I need to watch that.
You're starting your own show at some point soon, aren't you?
Starting on Monday. I am starting on Monday, and this is what I'm going to be doing. You're going to be a guest. Hang on tight. Hold on tight.
When am I supposed to be a guest? Have you got a booking system? That's one of my. When am I supposed to be a guest? Do we agree?
No, you're coming on next week. Tim I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, although my girls are watching it lately. Tim, have them take the test. It's really fun. It's like Wizarding World. That's what it is. Wizardingworld.com, I think.
Ooh.
It's really fun. So you haven't watched it yet? My girls are watching it late. We've watched all the movies. I'm just now reading the books.
Yeah.
So
it's like, well, I mean, I couldn't really tell you from what. I mean, I've watched most of the films a couple of times, and I couldn't tell you really what the difference is between all the bloody houses. So I think that's something where reading the books probably helps.
Yeah, it's more. I mean, you end up doing like a personality profile is what it comes down to. He's hiding in the basement office. That's awesome. What's behind you? What does your sign say?
Oh, this is just what I can think up in the last minute.
All things end, good and bad. That's so true. So that goes along with my show, what we were talking about. I haven't.
You're going to end it already.
It goes along with it. I have a name.
Ooh.
And basically, I'm not going to reveal the name yet, but we're going to go deep and we're going to talk about those deep issues. Are you ready, Tim? We're gonna go there, but that's what the show is going to be about. It'll be questions like, what is success to you? What does that mean? What is failure and how is that profitable? What are you learning right now? You know, questions like that. And I actually have a co-host that I'm super excited about. I used to work with her at Traveling Stories, and I'm so excited. The entire time I worked there, we would say that we need to just go live, because we were either going deep, talking about real issues, we were laughing hysterically, and we were jumping in and flying and believe that anything is possible. So she's going to be my co-host. I'm super excited. There's going to be a lot of energy, but stay tuned. And she's actually from Montreal. She's Canadian.
Ooh.
So
you can talk to her about the lockdown.
Never. So yes, Tim, you're going to be on this show.
Is she going to be live translating into French as well?
Into French, yeah. Her first language is French. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, but she won't be translating. No. Okay, you ready for the quiz?
I am just going. Well, this may look unexciting because originally I was going to say you just have to guess the year of the film, but that's boring. It's really boring. But then I had another idea.
Okay.
Which is we both have to go through and say an actor that was in that particular film, and we can't repeat an actor.
Oh my gosh, I already lost. I know the main ones, but I don't know their real names. Oh gosh, I don't remember names. Help. Where's Jim?
Well, we got Tim Son, who can't remember anything.
Where's Jim?
Well, let's try the year first.
Can I tweet my friends? I need help.
Yeah, you can tweet your friends. Don't Google it, because
I'm not Googling. I'm going to tweet. Tweet. Okay, I'm going to tweet. Come help me. Do you know the answers?
Well, I've actually set them up so that if I type them in, it'll. But yeah, I mean, actually, once you get the first one, it's relatively easy because they're about once every year or every couple of years.
I'm putting help. Tim is quizzing me again. I need help, but it's all Harry Potter. Give me a second. Potter. And I'm having them head over to. By the way, when you text and message, do you use one finger or more than one?
I generally use my thumb most of the time.
My boys told me that whenever they see me text, they can't believe I only use one finger. Apparently, these younger generations are using all their fingers.
Yeah, they managed to evolve into this new species where they
have. They're like, Mom, why are you just using one finger as you text? And they're like this. They use their thumbs. They go like this. See what I'm doing? See this? Like this. Here I am, like do. Okay, text out.
I'm quite quick one finger time.
Out. Help. Tim is quizzing me again, but it's all Harry Potter. Head over to Facebook now. Help me. Okay. I put in a word.
Yeah. So, do you want to start? When do you think Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was released?
Oh, when?
Yeah.
That's the first one. And you are Sorcerer's Stone, right? UK is.
Yeah. No, we're Philosopher's Stone, right?
Oh, who are we? What are we?
You're the Sorcerer's Stone. I think I changed it.
We're the Sorcerer's Stone. I have it. Here we go. I'll show you. It's coming. What year? Okay. Oh, here's the book. What year? Okay. You know what? I actually just looked at this. Give me a second.
The year stuff is pretty boring. That was my original idea, and then I thought, well, this is really boring.
It was earlier than I realized. This is how I rate things and how I figure out time. It's like based on when my kids were born.
Oh.
The big trend when my kids were in middle school, when my 20.
So it's really whether it's before or after Dumbledore was born.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Okay, so my oldest is 22. He was in middle school, which is when he started reading Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series. It's what turned him on to reading. That was the big trend. So I was surprised to find out the books actually came out quite a bit sooner. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but he's 22. Give me a second. He was born in 1997. Yeah, 1997. I'm going to guess 1997.
Let's see if my macro thing. Let's see if it's 1997. And no, it isn't.
Am I somewhat close?
You're not far off.
Yeah, it's earlier than I realized because the trend seemed to be.
It's this century.
It's this, okay, so 2003.
Let's see if that's right or not. Hopefully my macro, I know this is wrong, so I'm not going to tell you. No, it's wrong.
I'm going to just keep guessing at this point.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the idea of these quizzes, really.
So it's not, but I'm close. I know I'm close.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
close.
between those two last answers.
Okay, 2002.
Ooh, let's see. Nope.
2001.
This is where I hope my thing. Yes. Right. What about the change of?
It only took me what? But I was kind of in the vicinity. I was in the vicinity.
Well, it's a lot easier now because you know, like it's going to be after 2001, and they're in order. So it's not going to be 2020.
I'm guessing like 2 years later every time.
Okay,
2003.
No.
2004.
The obvious answer is to try a year later, maybe.
2005.
No.
Okay, then. Did I say 2002?
No, you haven't. That's right.
Wow, it came out only a year later. I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's according to IMDb anyway. I mean, I don't know if that's actually right, but that's what IMDb says. So.
Okay. Well, are they going to be close together or 2 years apart? I mean.
Well, this is the most boring quiz ever, isn't it?
No, because we're fun people, Tim. 2003.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing now. It's just a case of you see it, and if it's wrong, then you just say the next one.
2004. I mean, I know there's a point where there was a bigger gap.
Yeah, some of the late ones.
Realized that it was going to keep going, and they grow up, and that's the magic and mystery of Harry Potter series. We watch them from the age 11 and grow up all the way through.
Harry Potter and his pension plan. Harry Potter and his hip replacement.
Did you see the last movie?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
What did you think?
I mean, I actually like the last one. I think it's one of the better ones. I don't really like the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think that's a bit of a mess, but I know they have to have it to get them. But that's like they do a lot of good stuff in the last one, but they don't really like the first. The first one's a bit of a. And I can't really remember what happens in Half-Blood Prince. So.
So my son and I, my 13-year-old, I went on a Harry Potter binge, and we watched every movie on a Saturday. One Saturday, we took the whole day and watched every single movie. And it started off, cute. It was super cute, and the kids love it. By the time we got to the last movie, I was sitting there going, oh my God, I had no idea. I had no idea. It was mind-boggling, life-changing. My life suddenly mattered. Everyone's life mattered. The world changed for me. It was good. It was like, because they did a twist that I didn't realize was coming. And so it was life-changing. It was life-changing, Tim. Okay, Goblet of Fire. Let's go with 2006.
Oh, okay. Might be right. I don't know. No.
2005. I mean, should I just be going 1 year? Not.
Well, I would do that, and then it's like, well, it doesn't really. It's just 2006. Oh no.
Oh.
2007.
My 13-year-old was born in 2006.
Ooh, that was Harry.
Harry, he was still in there.
That's Hermione.
This is how I relate things. It's like years children were born.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing it for you because I get more of this now.
2000.
There you go. Actually, I mean, they didn't like the last three all in a year, really.
Yeah. We needed to.
Admittedly, this was like one film they filmed back to back.
Okay. Well, I thought the last one was life-changing, honestly. My whole world came alive. Everything was made possible. It all made sense. So that's the Harry Potter.
We don't have to do it with the actors. What I was thinking was we could do it with the characters. It's just the thing that you have to say. I go onto IMDb and then look to see if like that character appear, but you can't repeat the characters. So, like, this probably makes no sense at all. But for example, we both know that Harry Potter is going to be in each and every one of them. So you can only say Harry Potter once.
And Hermione and...
Yeah, and, what's his name?
I'm going to be looking at my books I'm looking. Dumbledore, there's...
Well, originally the idea was, which I didn't have, we've already lost our viewer, which it's like boring.
Tim is out.
We've got a 0 viewers at the moment.
I mean, I feel like we should find out what Harry Potter house you are live.
Okay. What's that site called? Well, hopefully not going to be...
Wizarding World. It's Wizarding World.
Wizarding.
I mean, you need to do it live. We all should know. And I'm going with Ravenclaw for you. But I could be wrong. So...
Okay, let me go back to Stu. Let's get rid of it. We'll quietly forget about that quiz.
It's wizardingworld.com. Are you able to do it live for us to see?
Should be able to. Hang on.
This is like the most exciting moment of my life. Let's just...
Well, I'm hoping this doesn't break any...
Oh.
Is this the right one? Wizarding World.
Well, what happened? What is this? Chapter 8, The Potions Master.
Ooh, we're probably like breaching their copyright. Yeah.
Oh, they're reading during coronavirus. Oh, he's reading chapter 1.
Woohoo!
Are you a brave Gryffindor? Well, I am, as a matter of fact.
There's probably a quiz somewhere on here. Common.
There. Where is it?
Play your Wizarding World characters crossword.
It should have come up right away. View all. Okay. Accept cookies. You need to accept the cookies.
I don't think it really matters that we don't have to accept the cookies. Harry Potter. Watch now.
Quiz.
First to hear he's probably this one down here, wasn't it? Oh, you both.
It's right.
Okay. That's a sorting ceremony. Oh, I'm going to have to give all this personal information out.
No, okay.
Hang on. Let me hide it, and then I'll
hide that part from us.
Yeah, and so I'll go.
And just so our viewers know, we're about the same age. We'll give that away. Tim and Tim. We're besties.
Oh, I have to create an account. Okay.
Like how it's now we have to know. I mean, I don't mind doing mine live too, but I mean, I'm already aware. I'm aware. These are the important things in life because these are the kind of questions you ask when you're sitting at the bar, and it's good to know who's on your side. Is this
when you're finding out the word on the street?
This is my word on the street. These are the kinds of things that are good for, like, pub chatter and work questions. It's always good to know these things.
Well, if I do this again,
there it is.
Is that going to ask me anything?
Okay, so you're going to say river or forest?
River.
Okay, this is good.
Which of the following must... What am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, okay.
What would you like to study? I'll answer with you. This will be fun.
Well, mer people boring. Centaurs are boring. Werewolves, I'll probably go vampires, actually. Vampires or ghosts. I'll go vampires.
Okay.
How do I accept cookies? Oh, okay.
Did it? I don't remember what I answered for that. Draw your wand and stand your ground. Late at night, walking alone down the street, you hear a peculiar cry that you believe to have a magical source. Do you draw your wand and stand your ground, or
do an awful lot of text?
Withdraw into the shadows to. Am I allowed to read this out loud? I am. Okay. Withdraw.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll either probably get done by copyright or something. We'll say it's fair use.
Okay.
Looking
Withdraw
at
into the shadows to await developments while mentally reviewing the most appropriate defensive and offensive spells should trouble occur. Or wand and try to discover the source of the noise. Hi, Lisa. Tim is currently doing he's finding out which Harry Potter house he is, which I'm a Gryffindor. So Lisa, if you know, let us know what house you are. I'm guessing Tim is a Ravenclaw, but we're about to find out.
This is a bizarre kind of question to ask, isn't it?
It's fine. This is everything you need to know.
Okay, we'll do that. A troll has gone berserk.
Oh, please read it out loud.
A troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's studies at Hogwarts. It is about to smash, crush, and tear several irreplaceable items and treasures. In which order would you rescue these items from the Trolls Club, if you could?
I don't understand. Select a position for the...
Well, yeah, but what are the other items?
I don't know. What's happening?
Dragon Pop. Well, like, given the current thing, let's put it in the middle.
Okay.
Student record.
Student records going back 1,000 years. A mysterious handwritten book full of strange runes.
He's not really. This was the virus cure. This was the. I'll probably put this. This is a bit rubbish.
I feel like Harry Potter is meant to be read with a British accent. It only seems right.
Reorder items. Yeah. Okay, so this one will go first.
Okay.
I'll put it like that, and then confirm order.
Lisa has never watched Harry Potter. Lisa, I am just now reading the series during lockdown. This was one of my goals, was to read the series. When Tim brought the quiz up that we did earlier, I had my whole series ready to go, but I'm still on book 1.
How would you like to be known in history? The great, the wise, the bold, the good?
The wise, the bold, the good. I think I said the wise.
I'll go for the good.
You're going for the good.
If you attended Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take with you? Well, it's something you want to be.
I'm taking an owl. I am taking an owl. Mm-hmm.
What do you cat?
You said a cat. Oh, now what kind? What kind of cat?
Tabby, even though it's a terrible picture.
Oh, I love tabbies. They're so cute.
Once every century, the fluttered by bush produces flowers that adapt their scent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, it would smell of the sea. Okay. Home, crackling log fire, fresh parchment.
Oh gosh, I would
go for enchantment, I think.
Fresh. See, I would say either the sea or a crackling fire. You said good. You know what? You might. Okay, I'm keeping my comments.
I'm a Slytherin, apparently.
No, you're okay. There's good in all of us.
Well, I'll tell you, all I know, so apparently I'm an evil kind of thing. That was the implication, Slytherin in the film.
Pride, ambition, and cunning. I did not guess this. Wow. Okay. You probably know that some of Slytherin's most renowned members include Severus Snape and Bellatrix Lestrange. But did you know Merlin himself was a Slytherin, or that according to legend, the ribbon of a first-class order of Merlin is green to reflect his Hogwarts house? Well, here's the thing. Snape was a Slytherin, so...
So we had, so we managed to get one person who was watching who has never watched Harry Potter. And
you have to find out, Wizarding World, what house you are. And it turns out they're doing live readings on wizardingworld.com. These are the important things to know in life. I mean,
the funny thing is, like, I grew up in a house that's about like 3 miles away from where the Harry Potter world is in the UK, and I've never been there. So,
when I come to the UK, you're taking me on a tour, right? We'll go live. We'll go live. You didn't look
like your boyfriend's somewhere in the UK, so you're basically just waiting to come over here, aren't you? Like, that's the thing.
He was supposed to be here for the last 2 weeks, and of course, with lockdown, that got canceled. And you like with all the world crisis happening and such hard things going on, you don't want to admit that. Yeah, that was really hard. I didn't get to see him for the past 2 weeks, but that's true. I mean, he was supposed to be here for 2 weeks, but yes, I will be there somewhere between August and October for sure. And a list of people to meet and a list of things to do.
So what is your, like, if you had to say the top 5 things that you want to see from a tourist attraction point of view, not people, because obviously people will be like, oh yeah. What top 5 things you want to see in the UK when you're over?
Well, one, I've been watching the train. What is the train show called? I keep telling you about it.
About all the stations, the
All
YouTube.
the stations, yes. Which, by the way, everyone should watch. Their show is adorable. They go and they film.
They go to they've visited all of the stations in the UK, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then I think they've done Ireland as well, and
Ireland and Scotland, and it's really cute. It's just like a 10 to 15 minute clip of the stations they're going to. They show the stops. I like it. It's so cute. So one thing, we don't have this in America. The trains here are just not the same. You know that.
The trains in the US are bizarre compared to the UK ones. I've not really been on any on the West Coast, but the ones on the East Coast are like, there are way more staff work on the trains in the US than here. Here, most of the trains are automated. They might have a driver and they might have a guard. But I went on the Amtrak one. They have like 2 guards every carriage.
Okay.
And it's like going back to. It's kind of like taking the train to Hogwarts, basically, on the Amtrak thing. Because the first train I went on, because this is when I was trying to visit I was trying to visit extra states from Boston. So I was doing like a day trip. I did a day trip to Maine from Boston, which is a terrible idea. No, never let anybody convince you that's a good idea. But they were kind of like, the guards, I went on and the guards were like, if you don't sit on a seat on your own, if you're not in a group, you have to sit next to somebody. It was kind of like, they were almost like trying to pack everybody into, I mean, I had a reservation but they didn't have, in the UK, they have like reserved seat numbers, or they just don't have it at all, and you just sit where you like. But there they were like, no, are you in a couple or are you on your own? I'm on my own. And just say sit next to somebody. So they were literally like filling up, like almost like a cinema. It's bizarre from a British or even a European perspective.
I know.
How the trains work in the US. You've got expected like a guard with a hat on or something on the front. So.
I know. Well, the West Coast, the cool thing about the West Coast, I don't remember guards per se, but I wouldn't have necessarily been paying attention. But on the West Coast, you do get to take the train. I mean, you could take it from San Diego all the way up the coast to San Francisco. I've done San Diego to LA. And I do know there's a train that runs along where you can see the ocean view for quite a long time, which is gorgeous. I do want to do that. But as far as your question about the UK, honestly, I want to stay off the beaten path. I don't necessarily want, of course, a day in London, just because. I
mean, this is the thing, like people say about London, but London, there's huge areas of London, and it's a bit like saying, I'll visit LA, and it's like, well, where in LA? I mean, LA is actually a similar city in terms of it's got multiple centres and areas. I think like London is more like LA, apart from like the lack of sunshine.
So there's different. Like if I were to take you to LA, I would say, okay, let's go to see the Hollywood sign and hike there. And there's bat caves there, and there's the
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Hollywood Boulevard, and I've
Okay.
been to Anaheim,
Okay.
which well, I actually went for a conference at Anaheim, and then I went to Disneyland for a day.
Okay.
But again, it's like they're totally different areas, and so
Exactly.
London has multiple centres, and so there's the kind of whole area around Buckingham Palace and around there, and then there's the City of London with the Tower of London further away, and then there's other areas, and like because London's a collection of villages that all merged together over time. There were actually two cities to begin with. There was the City of London and the City of Westminster. And they merged together because they're only about 2 miles apart. You can walk between them.
Okay.
And then all of like the places like Notting Hill and things like that, which never used to be separate towns, they all merged into London as a big city. So London's got all sorts of different identities in it.
So I mean, I would love to go to I'm sure there's like an art area. Is there an area known as like art village, or every city kind of has that eclectic art? No?
Not really. Well, there are arty areas, but yeah, it's like this is what I'm thinking. No, not really. It's really. Well, there probably is, but I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, there's like kind of hipstery, like Shoreditch is a kind of a hipstery area with loads of bars. Well, it used to be have loads of bars. They're probably all kind of restricted and won't be allowed to have people.
All right. Well, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not a fan of very crowded bar kind of scene. I don't like that.
Well, I think with the way the COVID thing is, you won't have to worry.
I want to stay 6 feet away. I'm good. Just kidding. Yeah. No hugs. Okay, where should I go in London then? You tell me. Where in London? If I were to go to one place in London, where do I need to go?
Well, I always say it depends. Like what kind of thing are you into? Are you into history? Are you into art? Are you into
history and art for sure?
Well, the British Museum is really worth going to visit. There's actually I haven't been there. I've recommended this place for loads of people, and I haven't actually been there for ages. There's a very small museum called Sir John Soames Museum.
Okay.
And what it is was this guy who was a private collector, and I think he was I think he was the person who started the Bank of England or something. He was like stupidly wealthy. But he left his house to the UK government when he died, and it's right in the centre of London, and it's stuffed full of all these antiquities that he basically borrowed, bought, steal, whatever. Like, but in the basement is this Egyptian sarcophagus, like Seti the Third or whatever. It's just like the most incongruous place ever. And that's pretty near the British Museum, so you could do all that in a day.
Okay.
I mean, the museums in London are really good actually, and they're all free now, more or less.
Oh, well, that's what I love. I love museums. I love history. I love art and bookstores. I love
bookstore. Well, it used to be like Foyles is the one that everybody used to talk about. And they've redone it. I don't like the new Foyles. I used to like the old one. The old one used to be really kind of pokey, and it was huge, but it was all little rooms and kind of. Now it's all massively. You can see everything. It's like almost like a steel building, and it's still worth going to, but not quite what it used to be. There used to be a street, I think it was Sicilian Avenue, full of like specialist bookstores, but I haven't been there for ages. I'm really despite my links to publishing, I really have no idea.
Yeah, this is your thing. I like a treasure hunt of books. I want to find old books. I want to go on a treasure hunt. I want to find like original copies. This is the kind of stuff. Yeah, we have. I mean, when you compare UK history to US history, I mean, there's no comparison. So to be able to go on a treasure hunt in a bookstore in the UK, to me, would be like finding gold, really. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like that's more a historical kind of book thing rather than like just. I mean, there are loads of independent bookstores, but they're not going to necessarily have books from 1842 or anything.
I'm looking from 1400, 1500.
Yeah. So London is just one of your things on your list.
London, and that wasn't even first on my list. I want to go to, what is it? Is there Holy Island? Is that something?
Yeah, there is. There's
like a castle next to it.
Oh God, Lindisfarne. That's what it's called. It's called Lindisfarne.
Okay.
What is funny is that bit of the rail line from Newcastle up to Edinburgh goes right past Lindisfarne. You can actually see it out the side of the train. That's the most beautiful train journey I've been on. I know actually if you go further north, which I haven't, it's even better in Scotland. I mean, I'm quite. I've only ever been to Edinburgh. I've been to Edinburgh like 3 times, but I've never been anywhere else in Scotland.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how you get there by public transport, but I think that's not that far from Hartlepool. So I think you should be able to get a lift from somebody up there.
And then I think most of the places I want to go to are probably, I saw them on my little train journeys.
Yeah.
So I want to see obviously castles, cathedrals. I enjoy going to old universities. So I would actually be a big fan of going and seeing one of your historical universities, Oxford, Cambridge. Are we allowed on those kind of sites? I mean,
yeah, well, the answer is yes, but like it depends on the time you go, and also with like all the restrictions. I don't know, but I know in Cambridge you can just wander into most of them. I mean, there's a security thing, or if exams are going on, then they won't let you go in there. But yeah, I mean, Cambridge. I've been to Cambridge. I've never been to Oxford. I've heard that Cambridge is more walkable thing than Oxford. Oxford is more a normal city with a university in it. Well, Cambridge is the university is the city, but it's still a big place, Cambridge.
I love the atmosphere of learning. I just love being part of that community and where things are happening and happening. And I know you wouldn't really necessarily get to be a part of something like that, but I just love that atmosphere. I love the history of older university. So,
well, I mean, nearby to the British Museum is Mallet Street, which is the sort of university sector in central London. A lot of it is pretty unimpressive. There's Senate House, which is interesting building. It's like 1930s style sort of thing. That is the house of the administrative head of the University of London, which is kind of an umbrella organisation for all the other universities within it. It's not because I went to London School of Economics, and that's part of the University of London. But you don't. The University of London doesn't really exist, as it doesn't issue. It's not you get degrees from the individual colleges. But the most impressive one to visit is University College London, which is near there. So you could kind of just, assuming the weather's okay when you're over, you can actually do a little walk around the university bit when you're going around the museums.
I mean, I love that kind of thing. When you have visitors come over, or if you could say 3 places you have to go when you visit the UK, what are those 3 places?
Well, this is the thing. I always say, what are you into? Because some people are like, I'm very into sort of history and other things and nature and the rest of it. I mean, there's so much you can do in the UK. I mean, like even in Ireland, I mean, I've only ever been to Dublin, but Trinity College in Ireland, that university thing, is really, really one of the best university places to visit.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to get to the library there. But yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do in the UK. I mean, that's the thing, because what I think a lot of Americans, you get this a little bit in America actually, but what people don't appreciate, Americans don't appreciate about Europe and the UK, is that our culture and places developed over a time when going to the next village was quite a hard thing to do. So there's very much more difference in culture between shorter distances. when you get to the US, obviously, certainly if you get out to the West Coast, people were traveling a hell of a lot more longer distance when people got to the West Coast. So somewhere like San Diego and even like San Francisco are not that different relatively. But if you went the same distance in Europe, you're talking about massively different cultures. It's like coast to coast in the US. So everything's kind of compressed. So it's kind of, I mean, there's Manchester's got loads of stuff to see. Even Birmingham, which some people get a bad press about, Birmingham's got enough. You can spend a day in Birmingham, which is like the second city in the UK, and that's kind of what people would say is a boring city in the UK. So there's so many places and things you can go do. I'm just not going to answer the question.
What would you do in Birmingham?
I went there. I went there. A friend was running a conference in Birmingham, and I went. There's a couple of really good museums in central Birmingham. I'm struggling to remember what I liked about them, but I've been to loads of museums around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, you get great museums in the funniest places, like Kansas City. That Nelson Atkins Museum is phenomenal. It's up to the level of like a lot of the ones in Boston and New York and the rest of it. I mean, in terms of the best museum in the world I've been to, is the Louvre in Paris.
Okay.
But the Met Museum in New York is very close up there, and the British Museum's very close up there as well.
Okay.
One thing that's interesting about Anglo-Saxon versus European and other, and it varies in the US, in that in the UK we have museums separate from art galleries, but in a lot of the rest of the world, art galleries and museums are the same place. So, and I think actually the Met Museum has a large art collection as well. So, but the British Museum is very separate from the National Gallery, which is where all the artwork would be. So if you kind of merge the National Gallery and the British Museum together, they're kind of arguably on a similar level to the Louvre, but the Louvre is all in one place, while you have to walk between the National Gallery and the British Museum.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is I could go anywhere and have fun and enjoy it. Just an adventure anywhere.
Yeah.
Fun. Finding a new coffee shop, finding a bookstore, talking to people if we're not 6 feet apart at some point.
No, I mean, I don't know how it's going to change my trips to the US, when I'm even going to be able to go to the US again.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to leave, even if they find like a vaccine and everything, it's going to change how people are going to be less likely to be sort of shake hands or hugging. Even like if suddenly everything's cured, there would just be a real kind of change to society. And obviously all the economic effects are going to be interesting to
oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've been talking about your travel story is the way you travel would be similar to how I would like to travel, because you're fine with going somewhere and just checking out what is there, what museum happens to be nearby, what coffee shop is nearby.
It's a lot more fun if you know people in the place, though. Because somewhere like Washington DC, where at the time I went there I didn't know anybody, it's a very different thing. I mean, I know people in DC area now, so it will be kind of a different experience.
Because it take you to where it's fun to go. Is that why?
Well, I think it's also, you just need the socialization of just hanging out with people. I mean, I think that just improves it.
Okay.
Because otherwise you get to this kind of like your tick box, see Washington Monument tick box, see White House tick box.
Yeah.
And like somewhere like Washington DC, you can do that. I mean, Washington DC is one of the phenomenal places in the world. There are places I've been to where you could go back and you can easily spend like a week or two in Washington DC. You can easily spend a week or two in London. You can easily spend a week or two in Paris. You can easily spend a week or two in Barcelona. They're like cities with enough to do.
Yeah.
And like even somewhere like Prague, you could spend a week or so there. Well, there are other places like Granada in Spain. I mean, it's got the Alhambra, which is a phenomenal Moorish temple, or Moorish palace.
Okay.
And it's got a fantastic cathedral.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all there is to do there. Like, so with my wife, we went there and we had 4 days there, and it was like by day 3, we're like, okay, just drink wine sort of thing.
Yeah, but you know what, Tim? I love testing out like the street food and being able to wander. And again, things have changed now, but that's why I wanted to go down to Mexico. I wanted to just test out their foods on the street and their food carts, and now they're opening up. There's actually now a beer culture down there and wine culture. So I would love to experience that and kind of do some tastings. So to be able to do that around the world. Now, have you been to places have you gone to Japan yet?
No, I mean, apart from the Europe and the US, I haven't really done that many places.
Okay.
I'm actually.
Yeah. No. Have you done India or?
No. I've done Shanghai.
Okay.
Hong Kong, Macau, all on one trip, and Dubai. But I haven't really done anywhere else in Asia.
You've done Dubai. I have friends in Dubai. How did you like it?
Dubai's a weird place. I liked it actually. I mean, it's kind of like a dry-ish version of Las Vegas. So everything's the biggest in the world. So it was like the biggest aquarium. There's the tallest building in the world in the Burj Khalifa. There's the most expensive hotel in the world in the Al Burj, I think it is. And yeah, I mean, it's lovely in many ways. The only thing is you kind of get the feeling that if you stepped out of line, you could end up in trouble really quickly, because there's no jury trial in Dubai. They have rules and regulations, like you can't take photographs of Dubai nationals without their permission.
Yes.
So there's loads of ways to get into trouble, but they're pretty liberal for the UAE.
It's very expensive. I've heard it's very expensive.
Yeah, well, it's one of those places. It's full of like 5-star, 4-star hotels. So it's not necessarily going to be. I think for what you pay, it's not expensive, but you're not going to get a 2-star. It's not a backpacking place, really.
Yeah, you're staying in the city. You can't just wander.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's so hot. I mean, I went there in October, and it was like 90 degrees every day, and everybody's taking cabs or driving, or there is a metro system, but it doesn't go anywhere useful, kind of like San Diego.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an interesting place though, and it's worth visiting. I wouldn't mind actually going to some other places in the Middle East, because I'm on my own. I'm not particularly bothered about drinking. So
I'm with you. There's a lot of places in the Middle East I would love, because I love history so much and I love culture and just learning. I would love to go to the Middle East and look at some of the historical places, do some history, museums, art, culture. I mean, I would love it. It's not high on my list, but if I had the chance to go, for sure. First on my list, honestly, obviously the UK, but Ireland is high on my list as well. So.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I would like, not me. I mean, how long are you thinking of spending in the UK environs?
Up to 2 weeks.
Okay, so yeah, I probably want to just stay in the UK then. I mean, if it was longer, maybe some parts of Europe might be worth visiting.
I would do it in different stages. I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
I know it's popular to kind of go from country to country. I won't. That's not my travel style.
No, I think too many Americans are like, oh, Monday Edinburgh, Tuesday Newcastle, Wednesday London, Thursday Paris, Friday, and it's like, well, you get back to the old checkbox thing again. So
I like to thoroughly experience things, but I'm a slow person. I like to take things in. I like to thoroughly experience. I like to feel. I like to look at every flower. So no,
I think you get slothering in the visiting.
What?
You'd be slothering. That will be your visiting house.
Yeah, I'm a slow. Well, okay, so back to the UK. I want to go to obviously where Harry Potter was filmed, but there's several different places.
Well, I mean, they're not going to let you go to where it's filmed, but then there's the Wizarding World, which is right next door to where it is filmed.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not going to let you wander onto the set or anything.
They're not going to let what? I was expecting to see. My expectations are being ruined.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places, and like I said, I tend to stay off the beaten path. I would like to kind of wander around to the less known parts of the UK and just.
It's kind of nice to go to somewhere and then you can say, "Oh, I really liked so and so," and people are like, "Oh, I've not been there."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's nice. It's a nice feeling when you go somewhere like strange, or just actually not as regular. It's kind of nice bragging rights. The fact you missed out on London or whatever because you were going to Beaconsfield or somewhere. There's a massive miniature village in this place called Beaconsfield outside London.
Oh my gosh! Yes, exactly.
I've only ever been there as a kid, so I can't lie.
Well, a lot of times we need to discover our own country more than we have. We end up. I mean, I know people travel and we don't even know our own country. That's the case here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've never been to the Cotswolds in the UK. I've never been to the Lake District. Those two are popular kind of destinations. Anyway, I think we're well over time, so I think we had we had a viewer. I think we still got a viewer. So
maybe Lisa.
Thank you for yes.
By Lisa.
At least about 4 years ago at somebody's birthday party.
Oh, you met her. Were you at a pub? Were you drinking together?
Yeah, well, it was my friend Ross's birthday. I think that's how I met Lee.
Oh, how fun! Yay! So she's
anyway.
Okay.
Somebody else has just rejoined, so just in time for us to say goodbye to you. What's the replay?
Bye, everyone watching. This was fun. Thanks, Tim, for your travel tips.
Yep, and who have we got on? We got your therapist.
Next week, my therapist is coming on. I'm actually bringing my very own trauma therapist. He's coming on next week, Mike Phillips, Tuesday at noon Pacific, 8 p.m. UK time, and all the times in between.
Yeah.
So
we will see everybody then. So
yay! Thank you, Lisa. Bye.